What if the real teachings of Jesus were never meant for the masses, but for you? In 1945, deep in the Egyptian desert, a farmer cracked open an ancient red clay jar, and what spilled out could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Christianity. Hidden inside were 13 mysterious scrolls, among them the Gospel of Thomas, a text that dares to claim, "Whoever finds the meaning of these words will not taste death." These were not just forgotten scriptures, they were forbidden. Silenced after the First Council of Nicaea, when powerful forces chose which truths would be seen and which would be buried forever. But why? What was so dangerous about these ancient words today? We uncover what was hidden and why Gnostic seekers, mystics, and ancient truth holders risked their lives to preserve it. Because these aren't just teachings, they are a spiritual technology, one that might still activate something profound within you. Stay with me until the end. What you'll discover may not just change your perspective. It may awaken something that's been asleep inside you for lifetimes. And if you feel drawn to hidden wisdom, ancient mysteries, and soul-expanding truths, then this is just the beginning. Subscribe to Hidden Teachings, where ancient light meets modern awakening. Why would you deny this perspective, which appears to add even more to the overall picture? This is a fascinating thing to consider, especially if you are a sincere believer of what he was stating. The acceptance of only particular beliefs and quotations concerning the truth is not a rational approach. Didymus Judas Thomas is the one who had the opportunity to record the words that the living Jesus had uttered in secret. According to Jesus, whomever is able to discover the meaning of these sayings will not experience the experience of death. In this passage, the concept that we as beings of existence, as energy structures, and as spiritual beings are eternal is presented to us in a very effective manner. A great deal of what he had shared with his students and what he had shared with us as concepts has been distorted in order to obtain dominance, power, authority, and control. There are numerous interpretations of what he meant to tell us that are deceptive. Jesus, Yeshua, and Joshua had no interest of gaining more disciples, especially those who were beneath him in terms of status. His objective was to produce leaders who are on par with one another, and there was no desire for division. Rather, there was a collective aspiration to come together and collaborate in the same goal. Most of what we know about him now is based on the notion that he was a teacher, if not to everyone, then to a significant number of people. It is interesting to note that the Bible makes reference to the concept that our ideas are responsible for the reality that we experience, stating that your faith is what makes the difference. Moreover, does it not also state that when Jesus came to Nazareth, the people who knew him simply as the son of the carpenter did not accept the things that others were claiming about him, including the miracles that he had performed. Therefore, he was not successful in performing any of these miracles in his hometown. How come the things that we believe and the things that we know to be true for us, the things that we do, and the things that we want to accomplish are all important? Now, things are starting to become intriguing, and if you are hearing those words for the very first time, it will be very interesting. According to what Jesus stated, if those who lead you declare to you that the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will come before you. If they tell you that it is in the ocean, then the fish will follow you there before you arrive. To be more precise, the kingdom is both within you and beyond you at the same time. It is only when you learn to know yourselves that you will become known, and it is then that you will come to the realization that you are the sons of the living Father. On the other hand, if you do not know who you are, you will continue to live in poverty, and you are the ones who are the poor. At this point, what are we being told? That there are no inferiors and superiors, that if we seek the kingdom with great depth, there will always be levels, and that there will always be something that is either more than this or something that is less than this, and that there is no hierarchy of levels. When Jesus spoke of the true kingdom, what he should have been referring to was the inherent power that is within each of us and has always been present. Despite the fact that we keep looking for it on the outside, we eventually come to the realization that it is situated within us. Socrates, for instance, once reminded us that there are times when studying to learn is nothing more than remembering. Therefore, the old proverb that asserts that everything new is an old proverb that has been forgotten is highly accurate. How come? Mostly due to the fact that everything already exists right now. Everything is already accessible in the form of public information. We are the ones who put limitations on ourselves, who construct particular belief systems, and who travel our own courses and confront challenges that we have created for ourselves. Also, we are the ones who make experiences and experiments for ourselves to go through, just to discover that we already know something deep down inside. And now we continue with one of the most powerful teachings that is so fiercely hidden and disregarded, yet it's available for anyone who's prepared to seek for it. Things begin in this manner. Let him who seeks not stop looking until he finds, and when he finds, he will be troubled, and when he is troubled, he will be amazed, and he will rule over all. Let him not stop seeking until he finds. We are told once more that there are no levels, that there are no inferiors and superiors, and that the individual who is making mindful choices in the present moment, the individual who is aware of his inner true self as a meaning of existence, as a seeker of knowledge, as an explorer of the reality, will always find what he sets out to find, and then he will rule over everything. The decisions that he has made regarding everything that he has intentionally chosen, as well as everything that he has already familiarized himself with and examined for a sufficient amount of time, will earn him the title of king. As a side note, we would like to mention that the word religion originates from the Latin word religare, which means to return to oneself. Isn't this about the same religion that we already discussed, to return to our authentic selves? Get back to the self that is already familiar to us, to the things that we have profoundly forgotten, so that we might experience them in a different way. Be this way, be like me, and be this way is the concept involved here. For you, I am the model to follow. I am the way in regard to all of its components. Follow in my footsteps. I am not superior to you. Follow in my footsteps. Join me in taking the lead. Walk alongside me. My path is the way. Take a look at me. I will carry it out. I am already here, and I keep my life in that state. Jesus was asked by his disciples, "Tell us what our life will be like in the end." Jesus asked, "Have you then deciphered the beginning that you ask about the end?" In response to the question, the reason for this is that the beginning is where the end happens to be. Blessed is the guy who makes it to the beginning of the journey. The conclusion will be known to him, and he will not experience death. Everything takes place in the here and now, including the interpretation of the present. Both the past and the future are merely illusions, just like reality itself is an illusion. It is possible to have a history in the form of an experience, a sensation, an emotion, a memory, a recollection, a sense of nostalgia, and even grief. Nevertheless, this is not the same thing as an existing experience, which is something that is real to us in the present now. In light of the fact that it is essential for us to look for you, his disciples commanded him to reveal to them the location where he was. Let whoever has ears listen to what he has to say, he told them. In a man of light there is light within him, and he is the one who illuminates the entire world. This is already the case. It is not necessary for us to search for it at a destination outside of ourselves in order to finally realize that it is already within us and that we are the ones who regulate it. The amount of light that we allow, the amount of kindness that we allow, and the degree to which our hearts are pure at that moment in relation to a particular individual and circumstance are all decisions that we individually make. One should take note that a guy of light possesses light within him. Then where are we going to be coming from? According to what Jesus stated, if someone asks you, "Where are you from?" It is from light that we have come, from the place where light came into existence and stood at rest of its own accord, and it has been shown forth in the image. These are the words that you should say to them. In the event that they ask you, "Is it you?" assume that we are its progeny and that we are the chosen ones of the Father who is still alive. Should they inquire, "What is the indication that your Father is present within you?" you should tell them that it is movement and repulsive. These are the two extremes of all that is in existence. On the one hand, there is change, and on the other hand, there is stillness. On the one hand, everything is happening right now that there is no time. On the other hand, the moment we come to the realization that there is no time and that everything is happening right now, we require time, space, and movement. We also require a direction that we can follow, and we must come to terms with the fact that this in general results in stillness. There is no distinction between the two items. They are a perfect complement to one another and go hand-in-hand movement in silence. They are indefinitely complete. We are from where we came from, because of the light that appeared on its own. Those of us who are chosen by the living Father are her sons, the sons of the light, children of the light, and we are chosen by the living Father. From the living Father, from the one who experiences reality and life, and chooses in the present moment from each and every one of us, we place an emphasis on being chosen, with the choice coming from the living Father. When would the kingdom come? His disciples asked him what time it will be. It is not possible to wait for it according to what Jesus indicated. This is not going to be a matter of merely stating that it is either here or there. It is more accurate to say that the kingdom of the Father is dispersed across the earth, hidden from the view of the people. To reiterate the concept that our inner universe, which we possess inside ourselves, as well as the completeness that we possess within ourselves, is already accessible in the form of information as a single global energy field that encompasses everything, and that there is nothing beyond it. It is already accessible to each and every one of you, regardless of how you choose to interpret the information that is being presented to you. There are some of us who do it and get that information through our dreams, others who do it through meditation, others who achieve it by breathing ways or techniques, and yet others who trust their intuition, which somehow magically tells them which path to go next. To put it another way, the kingdom that is stretched out across the planet is precisely that global consciousness that is all around us, or perhaps we might call it an egregore. The egregore is a representation of just that, the consciousness of all of us, the consciousness of the group, and the global awareness of everyone. It is not limited to the human element of the planet Earth, because everything is consciousness. The things that you bring forth from within you are the things that will save you if you bring them forward. It is the things that you do not bring forth that will bring about your destruction if you do not bring forth what is within you. You will be destroyed if you do not pursue your passion, your heart, and what you actually desire. Otherwise, you will be destroyed because you will ruin yourself. You take a lot of different roads, and there are a lot of other things that will happen to you that are not related to your genuine passion and the things that bring you the most thrill, and as a result, you end up killing your passion. Your life is going to be ruined, and you are going to obliterate the possibility of enjoying the greatest joy and satisfaction that comes with being alive and experiencing what it means to be human. Now is the time to follow your passion and bring forth what is within you, what your heart and soul are trying to tell you. And finally, Jesus asked, "Why do you wash the outside of the cup?" in response to the question. You don't seem to comprehend the fact that the person who created the interior is also the person who created the exterior. He was referring to the fact that the exterior has also produced the inside. It was his intention to convey the idea that we are on the inside. We are on the outside, we are on the outside. And what we are on the outside is the same as what we are on the inside. We are able to readily know ourselves by the way that we interact with other people, by the choices that we make for them, and by the decisions that we make for the world that surrounds us. Our approach to ourself is going to be just like that. Then we will be able to use what we have learned and continue forward in the path that we have chosen. It goes without saying that we are empowered to make any and all adjustments at any time. In the event that we devote ourselves fully to the material, we will forget our true nature, our purest form, our spiritual form, the energy form, and the form that is included inside the material. Due to the fact that we already have a solid understanding of the fact that matter is merely another form of energy, and that sufficient discoveries have been made. So the meaning of this also is that if we give ourselves entirely to a life with material gains, if we accumulate riches, material things, in this case, cars, properties, clothes, devices, everything that money can buy, and forget and absolutely consciously ignore our spiritual side, then again, we will go to this extreme. The full realization will come about when we combine these two extremes into a single general direction, often known as a single vortex. True understanding comes not from choosing sides, but from merging opposites, the seen and the unseen, the material and the spiritual, into one flowing current that carries us toward infinite evolution. This is one of the hidden truths whispered through the lost texts we explore today. If these ideas resonate with you, we invite you to be part of the conversation. Leave a comment below. Your voice matters. What are your thoughts on the Gospel of Thomas? How did it make you feel once the video ended? every interpretation will be different, not just hundreds, but millions, because each of us is a unique soul with our own lens of perception. No one else can tell you how to understand these words. No one else can walk your path, because you are the path. You are life itself unfolding. We bow in gratitude for your presence. And until we meet again, stay open, stay curious.